Hi guys and welcome to another video. Today we are talking about part 2 of the 5 tips to find the right partner. Now if you haven't watched part 1, make sure you do. I'll link that above, but let's get into part 2 right now. So obviously when looking for the right partner, you need to be aware that these are just general tips. These are things that can help you navigate your way to finding the right partner. Now, it's not easy, okay? You need to take time and you need to really know yourself, assess yourself, and really figure out, is this person for me? Or am I even the right person to be in a relationship? You know, a lot comes back to you. It's not the other person. And obviously, we all have different experiences. We've all had good and bad things happen to us over the time, and none of us want to repeat some of the mistakes that we've made. And we'd rather just be happy, healthy, and in a beautiful relationship. So we're moving on. We've gone through the first 5 tips. Now we're moving on to tip number 6, which is understand that people change. Okay, the person that you meet first time, on the first date, they're going to change. They're not going to be that same person through their whole life, you know, and you want people to change. You do not want people to stay the same. There's going to be things that change. There's going to be like they're going to change jobs. They're going to find new friends. They're going to have new experiences. It's going to change them as a person, you know, and that's a beautiful thing. You do not want to limit someone's ability to change. Okay, a lot of people are scared of change, but you don't want to be that way. Change is a great thing. And to be honest, if you're not changing and you're staying the same, you're holding yourself back. You should be changing consistently. And now some people go, whoa, change, right? Change is not good because the person that you met may not be that same person. And this comes back to the first video, so please watch that. But it comes back to find people with the core values, strong core values of honesty, ethics, who they are, just wants to look after other people and look after themselves and do the best that they can. You know, these core values are very important because they're the bedrock of what makes a person. So anything outside of that they should change. They should try to get better. They should try to evaluate themselves and work on their weaknesses and get past their fears, like the first video. Get past your fears and move forward. You want your partner to do that. You definitely do. So remember that people change, and it's a good thing. But if you do start to see their ethics change, their morals change, you never know where life can take you, then you need to evaluate yourself, and does this person fit the type of person that you like, and have that conversation. It comes back to communication. Once again, you need to talk to your partner, okay? But I'm not going to harp on it, but just remember that, understand that people change, and it should be a good thing. Okay, so moving on to tip number 7. Now this is one thing that my partner put down there, and this is something that I had to work on. And I'm glad that she did because I want her input. We communicate all the time and we're upfront with each other. And if there's any issues, we get straight to it. So this is something my partner put down. And she said, listen to one another and be compassionate. So listening, I don't care what anyone says. Listening is the most important trait in the world. Now, in this world that we have today, which is very go, not much rest, doing 500 things at once, social media, instant gratification, scrolling, this type of thing, it depletes people's ability to listen, to really listen to someone and what they're saying and how they're saying it and how they feel. You've got to get back to listening to people. Like, I'm a good listener. That's the only real trait that I have, is I try to listen to people and find out where they're coming from. I like to listen and I like to observe. But to my partner, I was very good at listening, but I sometimes, because I'm logical most of the time, I wasn't very compassionate. Like, I never really took it on board to just really get in contact with the way that she was feeling. and be compassionate and just be there for her instead of trying to fix the problem, which is what I tend to lean towards, and I'm aware of that. But it's about being compassionate. Sometimes it's just about being there, Being compassionate for your partner is very important. So guys, if you're not very good at that, or girls, if you're not very good at that, because this happens as well, you've got to be compassionate towards your partner. Okay, you got to listen to them, really deeply listen. A lot of people just talk over the top of others and they don't listen. And one other thing about this is you need to understand that people do not share their real issues very often or very well. They don't share their issues very well. All right. Small issues that people say, this comes back to listening. Small issues that people say are usually big issues. So you need to be carefully listening to what people say, because people don't want to make other people feel bad. So when they do say something that you might think, oh, that's a bit odd, it's normally a very big issue. If your partner comes to you and goes, look, I think it's funny how you never take the trash out. Okay, that's not just taking the trash out. That is, you're not doing enough around the house. I need you to do more. Maybe. Depends how they say it. But see the difference? You might think, oh, that's all right, I'll do it later. And then you never get around to it. But that's a big issue, because it's not just taking the trash out. It is you're not doing enough. So you need to be aware, really listen, and be compassionate. This will save your relationship every single day if you can do this. Every day. So really take this on board. That's number 7. Number 8. This is very close to number 7, but it's more important. Show empathy to one another, even if it's hard to understand one's point of view at the time. Okay? Like, you will not know what your partner is going through fully, 100%. Me and my partner, we've had issues. We've had things go wrong in our lives that we've really had to be empathetic towards each other and look after each other and go out of our way. Like I said in the first video, relationships are 100%, right? But there's been times when my partner's only been at 40% and I've had to do 170 or 160, whatever it may be. I've had to do more. And then there's times where I haven't been so great. And then she's had to come up and do 150, 160, 170, right? It's a balancing act. Most of the time you want to be at 100 each and just be happy. And you can still be happy doing 150, 160. But you need to understand is what you got to show empathy to your partner. You got to be there for her. You got to ask the questions. You got to look after her or look after him. You got to understand their point of view to a certain degree, but just be there for them. You're never going to know 100% how they're feeling. So you got to be that shoulder for the person to lean on when things go wrong. And they will go wrong. So don't think it's going to be perfect, because it will never be perfect, the relationship. You just need to do the best that you can do and look after the person. All right, number 9. Now, this is not a contradiction of the others, of 7 and 8. You need to learn to take charge of the relationship sometimes, right? You need to learn to take charge, because someone's got to lead at the end of the day. If you both have no idea where you're going in life and you're just randomly doing things every single day, or you're sitting around on the couch not doing much, like, someone's got to lead at the end of the day. Someone needs to have the direction, whether it's you or your partner or together. You both can lead. Like dinner, for instance. How many people, like, we do this sometimes. It's like, what do you want for dinner? Oh, I don't know. I don't really care. What do you want for dinner? I don't really care. And then it takes you an hour to make a decision on dinner? Like, really? Like, someone needs to take the lead and go, I want to do this. Let's do this. I feel like this. How about we do this? Someone needs to take the lead. You cannot both be so passive that you never get anything done. You will literally never get anything done. So that's a simple one for number 9. Okay, so number 10 is communication is key. Tough conversations are the bedrock of relationships. Tough conversations. Early communication will save your relationship, or at least you'll know where you stand. So, if there's a problem, no matter how small, you've got to talk to your partner about this. You actually have to get the courage to talk to them, depending on what level you're on. Me and my partner, we talk about problems all the time, and we do our best to understand each other, and we're just being upfront, because this is one thing that sales has taught me, is that you need to be upfront with the person. You need to be real. If it doesn't suit them or something's wrong, you need to know straight away. There's no point. A lot of people are scared about this. They don't want the hard stuff. You need to have the hard stuff. You need to understand that there is an issue so you can fix it. Because if you never find out what that issue is and you don't communicate with each other, or you just laugh everything off like everything's fun, but it's still sitting in the back of your mind being a problem, I can tell you that these things come back to haunt you over time. They definitely do. So when something's wrong, no matter how big or how small, if it's a serious thing for you, have that conversation. And it doesn't have to be a serious, in-depth D&M session for an hour. It can just be, hey, look, I realize that this happened. I'm not really sure if I like this. Can we do something different? Or is there any other way that we can do this? Or I'm not really happy with that. Like, that doesn't sit very well with me. And that's where you need to find someone who can compromise, someone who can listen, understand, be empathetic, and move on and change and help. That's why you've got to be very careful with who you choose, and you got to take the time to find out this person. Who are they? Are they the type of person that you want? Are they not? Don't rush in. Watch the first video, please. All right. So communication is key. Why? Because if you don't communicate very well, the rest of the relationship will fall over eventually for some stupid reason as well. Whereas you could be with a perfectly good person who wants to look after you, and you want to look after them, and you want to be happy and in love. I get it. All right. So communication is key. The last thing you want to do is not communicate and then be with a person for years on end and have regret because you never address these problems and they've blown up into something huge, and now you can't go back and change it. Communicate, communicate, communicate. All right, so that was number 10. I've got two bonuses. Two that I just thought of, and that is boundaries and space for one another. You need to have space. Okay, this sort of aligns along with the first video, which is don't rush in, right? Don't rush into relationships and have space. Okay? A lot of people, when they get excited about being in a relationship, want to be with the person 24/7. They want to be with the person all the time. They never want to leave their side. They want to stay over every night of the week. They want to come around. They want to have coffee and just be there and hang out, and all 24/7. I mean, that's fine and that's great. Congratulations. But long term, you can't do that. You smother people. And they do not want to be with you eventually because you run out of things to talk about because you're always together 24/7. And long term, that can be an issue as well. But you need to take the time, give yourself some space, keep your own life, they keep their own life, and then you can see if you match. Whereas if you're together all the time and you both ignore your lives on the outside of yourselves, eventually you get bored of each other. Sometimes that hurts for people to hear, but it's the truth. So boundaries and space for one another. Make sure you have it. All right, trust. Trust is everything. You need to trust the person that you're with. Now, I know some people have bad experiences in the past. I've had bad experiences where I've trusted someone and it has not worked, and there's been a problem, and then I've lost trust in persons or people. Okay, I get it. And we've all had bad breakups, relationships, things that have happened which have absolutely destroyed you. I get it. Some people have had those experiences. I have as well. Most people have, to be honest. But you need to understand is that when you meet someone new, do not carry your baggage. Do not carry your baggage into this relationship. Okay? Do not come in not trusting people. It won't last. And you're wasting the other person's time. You need to trust this person 110%, okay? Because if you don't have trust in a relationship, no matter how long your relationship has been going for, if you don't have trust, it's going nowhere. You might as well pack up and leave now. Because, look, you can love someone. Love and trust are not the same thing. You can 110% love someone with all your heart. But if you don't have trust, eventually it will not happen. Okay, it's very difficult. And once you lose trust, like say your partner does something silly and goes off with someone else, or has a one-night stand with someone else, or kisses someone else, or starts to have feelings for someone else, this happens, all right? It's shit. And you're probably feeling it right now because I'm feeling it too, right? This has happened to me. But you do not take that into another relationship. You need to give people the benefit of the doubt, trust them 100%. After you've learnt all these different traits and all these different top 10, 11 traits to have, once you've figured these out, trust will be easier because you'll know yourself and you'll know who you are, and it won't be so difficult to trust someone because you'll trust you. Because at the end of the day, it's your decision to be in a relationship. It's you pick the person, right? You picked them. So at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, you've done something wrong or you've just learnt the lesson. You've learnt the lesson. I've been with people that haven't worked out. Sometimes it's been my fault. Sometimes it's been their fault, and sometimes it's not trust. Things just don't work out. But you must trust the person that you're with and give them every opportunity, because I believe that inherently people are good most of the time. And you can do everything in your power to keep your relationship going and be happy for a very long time. So that is what you want to do. If you can do that, well done. Keep the trust in people. Believe in yourself. Believe in your choices. Meet as many different people as you can to sort of get a feel for different people. Because you want to make a good choice at the end of the day. And like I said, there's billions of people. There's 10 billion, 15, 16 billion people in the world, something like that. And you want to make sure that who you choose is someone that you want to be with for the rest of your life. So, well done, guys. Thanks for getting to the end of this video. I hope this was a benefit to you. If it is, please like and subscribe. Please throw some of your own comments down in the comments. Is there a story you want to share? Have you had bad experiences? Is there something else that you would recommend as a tip? Because I believe there's probably still another 400 tips, but we might get onto all of them. But it's more about your experiences, what you've learned, and how you can get better in being in relationships. So thank you guys so much. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll talk to you next time. Peace.